Hey guys, Corey here, BPB, back out in the shop firing down today. I had this charger come in. I made the previous video on it, painting the hood and doing all that. There was a few scratches on it, on the top and on the front bumper and stuff in a few places. And I've been wanting to make a video like this for a while to show you guys how we actually get scratches out the correct way. If you bring it to us, we don't just put a wax in it or a filler in it or something like that and then just send you on your way, with a slight buffing. We'll actually sand and buff it out completely with some 2000 grit and a polishing pad. And I wanted to walk you guys through that and show you how it's done, show you how we do it, and polish it up afterwards. And anybody can do this. You guys can buy buffers for 50, 60 bucks and compound for 10 bucks. And if somebody keys your car or something like that, and it's a superficial scratch and it doesn't go all the way down to the primer or what's underneath, it doesn't go through the clear coat, you can sand most of these scratches out. A lot of people don't realize that. They'll take it and to a body shop and they'll want to they'll quote them to paint it and then ended up taking it in and sanding and buffing it and never actually paint it. So we don't have anything like that going on here. And so I just want to show you guys the process a little bit. So let's go check that out. All right, the scratches, I showed them in the other video, but here they are again. You can kind of see them. It looks like maybe somebody put a piece of luggage up there or something like that and kind of slid it across it instead of picking it up. They don't look terrible. They don't look all the way through to the primer. So we're just going to show you guys how to slightly sand and buff them and get these out. We use 2000 grit, wet or dry paper, 3M, good stuff. Just water and a tiny drop of soap, or just water. You don't even have to have the soap, but the liquid dish soap helps it slide. And we'll use that block there. This block, we'll wrap our paper around that block and then just start sanding. All right, guys, pretty simple. Wrap your paper around your block, get it wet, find your scratches, and just start sanding back and forth, side to side, real light. You'll know pretty quick if you're going to be able to get them out. There's not a ton of clear coat on these new vehicles, well, on any of them really from the factory. They don't put a lot of clear coat, so you can't sand much. I'll just keep doing this back and forth on these scratches, side to side, ever so lightly, just letting the paper do the work. The paper and the block, not really applying a lot of pressure. And you can see them starting to fade. I don't know if you guys see it. Kind of hard to tell so far, but back and forth. Keep your paper wet. Make sure you keep your area wet. It's not a hard concept, guys. Anybody can do this. If you got some ugly scratches you need to get out, they're looking bad, they're not through all the way to the primer, you can't really see the primer, but they're light scuffs or scratches, this is the way to do it. Back and forth, side to side, circles, whatever it takes. Some of these spots might be deeper than others, but for the most part, they all look like they're coming out. There might be a small, tiny little spot here or there that I don't really want to sand on too hard because it might burn through, but for the most part, I think he's going to be happy. I'll go ahead and finish sanding this. I don't want to bore you guys to death. I'll finish sanding this, and now that you guys understand the process, and then we'll be back to show you guys how to buff it. Alright guys, when you get it all sanded, all of your scratches out, you'll no longer see them. As long as you didn't burn through anywhere and get into the actual base coat, burn through the clear coat. These, like I said, these scratches were all light enough. They looked light enough to me that they would sand out, and they did. There may be a little hint or a remnant of a scratch left in it when I get it all polished up. And I might have to sand it just a little bit more, but we probably won't sand on it a lot more because, like I said, factory clear coat's kind of thin. So we'll go ahead and polish this up. And to do that, we're going to use some cutting compound. Removes P1200 and finer. So we use 2000 grit. That's finer than 1200, so we should be just fine. Just go ahead and put a couple of drops on the whole work area. This nice few little drops, and we'll go back with our buffer here in just a second. Right here's our buffer, nothing fancy, just an old DeWalt buffer, foam polishing pad. You guys can pick this stuff up at your local paint supply store, or even O'Reilly's has it, I believe, has all this stuff. When you're buffing, you don't put a lot of pressure. You just kind of let the buffer do the work. So we will go ahead and show you guys what we're doing here just a little bit. Nice light pressure, back and forth. Side to side, take your time, nice and slow. There's not much to this stuff, guys. I'm doing this one-handed. You definitely don't want to do that because it'll get out of control on you and tear your car up. But I'm trying to hold this camera at the same time. But you guys can see it's just polishing right back up. Usually about 3 applications. Somewhere about 3 applications with the buffer, and it's usually all gone. I'll just keep running this around there, and you can see where I sanded it and where it's polishing. And I'm just keep running this back and forth, side to side, over this area 3 times, and we'll be back. Alright guys, after that quick little buffing, you can see the scratches are gone. I'm going to go ahead and, what you're seeing is the haze from the compound, buffing compound. I'm going to go ahead and spray on some wax right here, some detailer, and wipe it up a little bit. I'm going to have to give this thing a complete bath, wash and wax the whole thing when I'm done, but I just really wanted you guys to see these scratches. Some pretty good wax, I know that. It's Mother's Speed Spray Wax. It's about the first time I think I've ever used this stuff. I usually buy that Lucas Slick Mist. It seems to work great. But they didn't have any the last time I went, so I picked this up. It's definitely just as good. Guys, it's coming to life. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. There's a couple teeny tiny little scratches left where it looked like they were at the deepest point of the scratch. There's one like right here. And that spot there looks like it's actually maybe close to being through to the primer. But other than that, they pretty much all came out. That's how it's done, guys. Real simple. Not very hard at all. The cleanup's always the worst. I hate buffing. They make a huge mess. But that's it, guys. If you think you learned something, if you think you know how to get a scratch out now, I think you can do it. Give us a like. Hit that subscribe button. Share it. Tell your friends. The front bumper here where the bug had got into it, we went ahead and sanded and buffed it and put a little collar in it from the base coat because it was black underneath. You could see the black bumper. It looked like kind of like maybe a big bug hit it, and it etched in pretty deep, but it turned out pretty good. Not perfect by no means, but that's about the best we could do on it. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching my How to Remove a Scratch special, guys. If you liked it, if you learned anything, smash that subscribe button, hit the share button, tell your friends. I want to kind of go take a look at it real quick. I got it all cleaned up, but let's go check out our handiwork. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, guys, this is it. You see that one didn't come out 100%, but it looks a lot better than it was. It's gonna have to be sprayed to be fixed properly. Hood turned out beautiful. And all of our scratches are gone. That's what you guys came to see, right? Completely sanded and buffed and gone. Nice coat of wax over them. All the scratches on top of the door here are gone. If you guys learned something, hit that like button, that subscribe button. If you think you can do it yourself, if you got any comments, drop them down below. I'll try to help you guys out the best I can. There's not much to it. Thanks for watching, guys.